Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 4. It's me, your host, LogicBlade, and I hope you're all having a lovely day today. Last time around, we did some side content, and we received a message from Aurelia Le Guin herself saying, "Hey, come meet us on the Pantagruel. We have things to discuss." So, let's go and find out what those things are. We did all the side quests that we can, so we're basically ready to go here. I suppose I should say this now. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm. You know, general business. And just make absolutely sure.
Let's see how you did.
Yeah, 201. That's where I should be right now.
Thanks, everyone. Great job. See you later, Rean.
Okie dokie. Let's just dance. Let's go. Oh. No, I wanna head to destination. Our designated meeting point is a buffer airspace above the borders of Erebonia, Calvard, and Liberl. I've already charted our course. Should we depart and rendezvous with the Pantagruel? Once you depart, the story will progress. Please note that content such as quests and time-limited events will disappear. Understood. I'll call everyone together then. Got it. Thanks. Once Class 7 and the rest of the crew had each finished up their remaining affairs, the Merkaba then began to make its way towards the designated meeting point. 12:30 p.m. Neutral airspace over the Erebonia-Liberl-Calvard border. Merkaba number 8, this is the Pantagruel speaking. Your ship is now permitted to dock. Please follow the beacon. Understood. Initiating automated boarding. Wow, we really are over a three-way border, if only just barely. The non-intervention zones should span the entire surrounding area, supposedly. Not much chance for interference when you're straddling 3 entire countries, huh? Yep, plus it's off the invasion route into the Republic. It makes for a pretty effective blind spot. But did we really have to go all the way here just to find out what Mil Mirage is about? They're here. Enter the front runners. Airships are so cool. I want an airship. A certain country's latest model of gunship, the VST-110 Type Avior. Scout ships from the Pantagruel, and more from the northeast and south. The northeast and south? Could it be? That makes their origins clear, geographically speaking. But in that case, the ship coming from the east must be a new state-of-the-art military gunship from the Republic, courtesy of the Verne Company. That's right, complete with a higher carrying capacity and expanded cruising range. So many people from so many different regions gathered together for one purpose. Muse, does that mean all of these people are...
Indeed. Important figures from each one of our neighboring countries. The Kingdom of Laburel, the Principality of Remiferia, and even the Republic of Calvard. And if all goes to plan, we'll have a few special guests from the Bracer Guild and the SSS join us too.
Naturally. Pantagruel frontal hold. Nice. Been about a month, hasn't it? Oh, right. This is where you escaped from, right, Ash? Wow, this ship is huge! Hey, that's the Bobcat too! It's just like Josette said.
So, you showed up after all.
Hey, Wallace. Long time no see. Brigadier General Bardius, you look well.
As do you, Schwarzer. Despite everything General Le Guin and Miss Clotilda tell me you've been through. Your Highness, Lady Angelica, it's a pleasure to have you back safely with us.
Thank you, Brigadier General. We appreciate it. Who'd have thought we'd be meeting here on the Pantagruel at a time like this?
Agreed. Things have taken a real turn since Ordis's last provincial council.
Seriously, look at all these frickin' people here. It's ridiculous.
What happens here today could very well change the course of history.
Wow, the course of history? Quite the assemblage, then. Indeed it is. In fact, some of our guests have already arrived, though many of them are simply here to observe.
Follow me, everyone.
The guest area. What a lovely place. Wow, incredible doesn't even begin to describe this place. Actually, haven't you and Instructor Reen been here before, Allie? It's a bit of a long story, but I shall not reveal the details of his misconduct during that occasion. Reen? Reen, what did you do? It's a misunderstanding. I'm not entirely convinced. I'm sure he didn't have impure intentions. That's the whole problem. His heart is too pure. As I've told you before, Reen, nobody likes a goody two-shoes. You got that right. Can you guys just not? We've known for a while of your unsociable ways. Yeah, we already accepted the fact that you're completely clueless about people's feelings, Reen. Reen's got all the luck, though. All the bad luck, I'd say. This brings back memories. Reen carried me in his arms once. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Man, there was a lot going on that day. I doubt anyone there that day expected that sort of daring escape from you. Wow, that must have been so cool. Reen, you hound. You really can't judge a book by its cover. Guys like you and Lloyd are really something else. Leave some charm for the rest of us, will ya? Instructor Sarah, Toa, requesting permission to burst into tears. Permission denied. This just means everyone likes you, Reen. You're a lucky man, Reen.
Wow. Well, looks like the party's already started.
Rex!
Kinda feels like this meeting was a long time coming, huh?
Estelle! What are you doing with Rex? No, I'm kidding. It's our boy Lloyd.
Well, I'll be.
Took you guys long enough.
The gang's all together. We did it.
Long time no see, Tita.
Have you grown a few, Reach? Or am I imagining things?
Estelle. Joshua. And... Hello again, Tita. Remember our promise? Ren!
Aww.
Oh, you guys. You have no idea how happy I am to see you. Don't you get me started, too. So melodramatic. And here I thought you two'd have grown out of this by now.
You're one to talk. I can see you getting a little choked up yourself. Seems like you've been holding up pretty well, Agate.
As if there was any doubt. We're making progress, don't get me wrong. But there's still a lot left to take care of.
All the more reason to stay on top of our game from here on.
Oh, Sarah! You're here too!
Nice to see you again. It's been too long.
Man, it sure has. What's it been, like 3 years since you were last here in the Empire? Oh yeah, let me introduce you to Fee. Sup?
Fee? Like, the Fee? That petite powerhouse they keep talking about in all the guild branches?
The petite powerhouse. I like it.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Sylphide. As you can see, we've heard all about the work you've been doing.
You can just call me Fee. I've heard a thing or two about you guys, too. You know, from Agate and Sherazard.
Oh, yeah? Trust them to embarrass us like that. Speaking of Shira, we still don't know where she is, do we?
Not a clue. We know she's still alive, at least. Way I figure, if she was in trouble, she'd contact us with that thing she's got.
Right. It's only been about 2 weeks since we last heard from her.
That thing.
She left Heimdall altogether just after that, didn't she?
Yeah, I've got all the other Erebonian bracers looking out for her too.
Tio! Nice tackle, Kia.
Aww.
Lloyd, Ellie, I'm glad you guys managed to come.
Of course. We wouldn't miss this.
Oh, I can't help myself. Come here, you two.
Aww.
Ellie, I can't breathe. Oh, Tio, I'm so relieved to see you're okay.
They're sisters.
Yona's been worried about you too, you know. Oh, you don't say. That's cool. But also, I could really use some air.
I can't believe Tio's dead.
Hoo-wee! The dynamic duo's getting bigger and bigger by the day.
God damn it, Randy.
Good to see you, Randy.
Right back at you, Lloyd.
Now hold on a moment. You didn't think I'd just let that little comment of yours slide, did you?
Who's the dynamic duo? Me and Tio? I don't think we got any taller.
Oh.
No, not crap. Forget I said anything, alright?
Oh, great.
Shame on you, Randy. There are children here.
And we didn't forget about you, Yuna. Kia's been telling us about all you've been up to.
We heard you helped set Tio free. I'm so proud of you.
Well, that was more Class 7 as a whole. It was just part of our mission. As someone who's always looked up to the SSS, it's so great seeing all of you back together again.
What do you mean? You're one of us too, Yuna. Mm-hmm. You're a lot closer to the SSS than you give yourself credit for.
That's right. You carry on the spirit of Crossbell in a way all your own.
I think we're all aware of how much you look up to the SSS. But you know what? It goes both ways. We're just as proud of you too, Yuna. Every one of us.
Oh, my baby.
Thank you.
Well, at the very least, you've gotten a bit more tame since the first day you bucked into the branch campus.
Come on, Randy! Let me have my moment! Oh, right! Elisa! Over here!
Hello, Ellie. How are you? I'm so glad you guys finally got the chance to reunite.
Thank you, Elisa. Allow me to congratulate you on your reunion as well.
Aw, thanks.
I suppose I'd better introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Reen Schwarzer, graduate of Thor's Military Academy, Class 7. Ellie, Estelle, Joshua. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is ours. Elisa's told me quite a bit about you already. Perhaps a bit too much, actually.
Was Elisa, like, commenting on his dick size or something?
Ellie?
We definitely know you by now, after all the stories we've heard. From Tita's letters, and Ren. Even Olivier, and Toval.
I see. It's no surprise you knew His Highness, but I wasn't aware you knew Toval, too.
Yup. We met back on our first trip in Erebonia. He helped us out a bunch. It's good to meet you, Reen. This has definitely been a long time coming. Don't worry. You can loosen up around us. We're the same age, more or less, right?
Got it. I think I'll take you up on that. Looking forward to working with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
As are we.
Oh.
It's been a while, Lloyd. How have you been?
Busy, to say the least. It's been crazy this past year and a half. I really owe you for your help during Operation Birdcage.
I'm still
I'm sure I'll get
thing.
the chance to return the favor, though. I get the feeling we're gonna be seeing a lot more of each other. From here on, Reen, we fight on the same side. As equals.
Instructor Reen?
Honestly, I'm not sure I even deserve to shake your hand. I'm sure you've heard about what I've done. The mistake I made.
Reen.
It's my fault that the curse spread throughout not only the Empire, but Crossbell too. It's the same with North Ambria and Jirai as well. Even this awful war with Calvard. I have no idea how I can even begin to apologize.
No, Reen. That's wrong. It's my duty as a detective to look beyond what's on the surface. You want to know what I see? I see that this was all a setup from the very start. Nothing you could have done would have possibly changed the outcome. I see a man who, despite it all, never fell to despair. A man who continues to push back, even at this very moment. Not just for Crossbell, or even Erebonia, but for the world itself and all who reside in it. Within you lies the strength of countless allies, helping you move forward through whatever may come. I'd like the SSS to be a part of that, Reen. To be one of those allies there by your side. Empire or Crossbell, where we're from doesn't matter anymore. Now we're fighting for the world itself. Together.
Lloyd.
This guy, I swear.
Always ready with the friendship speech. This is why Lloyd's the best protag.
Now I understand why you look up to him the way you do.
Yep. Told you he was great.
Wow. How am I supposed to follow up a speech like that?
Where Robbie Damon beats Sean
I'll
Chiplock
gladly
in the
take your
speech
words
stakes.
to heart. It's good to have you with us, Lloyd.
Hey, you can't beat the OG, right?
I'll be honest with you. Our situation is looking grim. And it's only going to get worse from here.
How's it going, Richie?
But that's never stopped us before. With you on board, we'll overcome every barrier in our way.
You said the line.
You got it.
That's how you build a rapport. You say the line.
That goes for us, too. We Laburlians got your back.
I see you've saved me the trouble of rounding you up.
Principal Le Guin.
God, I love those boots.
Right on time. Is everything ready?
Is she?
General Aurelia Le Guin, commander of the Viceland Army.
Wow. I can tell this lady's a serious badass.
That's an understatement. She's one of the greatest swordmasters of our generation.
Bracers of Liberl. Special Support Section. Allow me to introduce myself.
Oh, definitely.
I am Aurelia Le Guin. Well met, all of you. I'd love to chat with each of you individually, of course, but time is of the essence. I suspect our other guests are anxious to get things underway.
What?
I knew it.
Well, if it isn't the special support section, I do believe it's been around 2 years since our paths last crossed. Though it would seem Arios is not with you this time around.
A pleasure to see you again, your lordship.
Our apologies. Arios had some pressing matters to attend to, though he did make sure to send his regards.
Is that so? I suppose I expected as much. A man in his position seldom has any time to spare. Princess Elphin, I bring you my greetings and condolences both. We received news of Emperor Eugen's condition, as well as the tragedy that befell Prince Olivert. I can only imagine the pain this must put you through. You have my deepest sympathies.
Yeah, no, Stephanie Sheh does a great job as Estelle.
And you have my sincerest appreciation, your lordship. I must admit, I didn't expect to be able to meet with you so soon.
Nor did I. A silver lining in the dark cloud that brought us here.
I'm not sure who does the Archduke's voice, but it does suit him. I think it works pretty well.
Lady
Although, for the most part,
allow me to thank you once again for the invitation.
he is a minor character. But, like, you know, you gotta get your minor characters right as well.
The gratitude is ours, your lordship. It's an honor to receive you.
Ha ha! This is quite an extraordinary crowd we have here.
Although this was not the voice I was expecting for Rocksmith, but you know what? We'll roll with it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, SSS, but it was 2 years ago that we last met as well, was it not?
Yes, back at the trade conference.
It's good to see you again, sir.
Princess Alphen, Lady Mildine, I don't believe I've ever formally had the pleasure.
Ah, I see.
Though I suppose in a way we aren't entirely unfamiliar with each other. I had the privilege of meeting your brother, you see, back during the conference.
Ah, yes, he mentioned you before. Pleased to finally make your acquaintance. Knowing you're here helps put into perspective the true scale of Operation Meal Mirage.
It's an honor to have you. We do appreciate you taking the time to come. After all, I'm sure you, of all people, have been particularly busy of late, President Rocksmith.
What? No way! So that's how this is gonna go.
Yeah, they brought the president of Calvard here.
I don't even know how to react.
How silly of us. I didn't realize we had neglected to make our introductions.
Wait, that's seriously... Yeah, no, yeah, I can buy that. That's definitely Derek Stephen Prince. He is just,
In that case, allow me to go first. I am Albert von Bartolomeus, Grand Prince of the Principality of Remiferia. It's a pleasure to meet you, students and alumni of Thor's Military Academy.
And I'm Samuel Rocksmith, President of the Republic of Calvard.
Okay, yeah, now I can't unhear Patrick.
I'm sure I'm the last person you would expect to see here.
Prince Albert is one thing, but President Rocksmith?
Indeed. And in person, no less. What's the President of Calvard doing here? We're on the verge of war.
Machias, you can't be this dumb, can you?
That is exactly why I chose to attend, Machias Regnitz. Ah, and you must be the acting Duke Alberea. And, you're Fee Clausel, correct?
Oh well, we'll live with this forbidden knowledge.
Let me guess. She told you. As I suspected, you work for Calvard's Central Intelligence Department.
Took us long enough to get a title drop for her, as well as Lucy
That's
Sealand.
right. I'm a second lieutenant in the CID, as well as a member of the Special Force Hercules. Thanks for your help before, by the way.
I'm Lucy Sayland, Private Secretary to the Grand Prince. For those of you we met before, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Now I understand. You were investigating Erebonia's internal affairs to prepare for today's meeting.
Wait, back up a sec. If the heads of Remiferia and Calvert are here, then...
There's only one more big nation we're missing.
It would seem they've arrived.
Alright, and now
They
the
made
Liberal
it.
gang is here.
Oh, you have got to be shitting me.
Liberal has just as much a stake in this as anyone else, after all.
Oh!
It's the Princess of Liberal. And beside her...
Man, today's just full of surprises, isn't it?
Sorry for the delay. I have to say, this is the most luxurious ship I've ever seen.
Thank you once again for inviting us.
And is Erica Mendez just voicing everyone?
My name is Claudia von Auslies. I will be participating on behalf of Queen Alicia II of Liberal.
No.
Delighted to make your acquaintance, everyone.
That is
Cassius
Christina V.
Bright, Lieutenant General of the Royal Army of Liberal. Unfortunately, we don't really have time for pleasantries. How about we get straight down to business?
I don't recognize Cassius's voice though, but like, I'll once I know who it is, I'll never unhear it because that's kind of what it feels like. And yeah, that took me a while. But I was like, nope, that's right. That's my delay. Get me that back, can it? I hope not. Usually it's about 7 to 10 seconds. This feels more like a summit than an informal meeting of concerned parties. Yeah, but Eustace and Angelica must have known this was coming, right? Yes, Muse planned to include representatives from powers outside Erebonia right from the beginning. Though we had no idea who exactly would be invited, or in attendance. Turns out Operation Mil Mirage has many influential backers. And the Lieutenant General of Liberal is among them. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Cassius Bright, the tactical genius who stopped the Empire's invasion during the 100 Days' War. After the war, he left the army and worked as a bracer for a while. He and my father were good friends. I think I remember something involving them around 4 years ago? Right, when multiple Erebonian branches of the guild were blown up. When the anomalies started in Liberal, he rejoined the army. And now he's having a friendly chit-chat with the president of Calvard, whose country's about to get invaded by Erebonia. That Muse is an excellent matchmaker. She even reached out to Remiferia. Wow. Remiferia is in a similar situation as Liberal right now. The Empire is pressuring both of them to allow the army safe passage through. Neither are particularly willing to do so, but fear retaliation should they decline. Refusal could be construed as siding with Calvard. Small nations can't afford to be assertive against the overwhelming power of the belligerent Erebonia. Yeah, that'll probably be the topic of discussion today, I think. While those nations can't openly oppose the Empire, we, along with the Bracers and Special Support Section, are more free to take action. This is a good opportunity to speak with the other parties involved. Not just Liberal and Crossbell, but Remiferia and even Calvar too. Indeed, there's no better time for us to exchange information. It's also the ideal time to speak one's mind freely. After discussions have concluded, I'd like to speak with the Grand Prince and the President myself. You've got guts, I'll give you that, though I wouldn't mind exchanging a few words with them either. And I'd like to talk with Ellie if there's time. And Crown Princess Claudia, too. Seriously? Well, I guess this is your best shot at getting close to her. By the way, Ash, don't you and Joshua go way back? Look, that ain't confirmed and I don't really remember him. Still, you two might want to talk and clear things up. Yeah, that's what this thing's all about, isn't it? There's gonna be a dinner after the main talks. We can talk about more personal stuff then. The principal invited us here, so there's no point in acting like wallflowers. Yes, let's make the most of it. I should go around and talk to the attendees myself. I definitely want to check in with those from Liberl and Crossbell. Might as well talk to the representatives from Calvard and Remiferia too while I'm at it. So remember the end of Chapter 4 in Cold Steel 3? We gotta do this again, where you have to talk to absolutely everybody. It's gonna be a lot of cutscenes today, so make sure you make your saves. Alright, and as you can see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups of sub-events here. You got a lot going on. So, these 4 are closest to us right now. Let's say hi. There you are, Reen. Steadily working your way through the crowd, chatting everyone up. Are you gonna talk to Kayla, too? If that's okay. Special Second Lieutenant Kayla. Yes, you may speak to me at any time without reservation, Ashen Chevalier. I'm grateful to your help the other day. I had a feeling you guessed who I was right at the start. I had my suspicions. It seems I interrupted your conversation. What was it about? We were just touching upon recent internal affairs in Calvard. I'm not sure what you might have heard about the situation there. The ruling party lost the opposition in the recent elections. Once President Rocksmith's term ends, he'll be forced to step down. Yes, I read about it in the Imperial Chronicle. That's a drastic change. The country's already in a crisis, but there's also been acts of terrorism carried out by the anti-immigration faction. I see. Immigration's a very divisive issue in the Republic. With each passing day, it's becoming more apparent how weak our country is. I expect our leaders to announce a new course of action after today's discussion. Thank you. I have a handle on Calvert's situation now. Despite her young age, Kayla is remarkably sharp. Dang, that's bold. I wouldn't waste my time with haters, but hey, you do you. By the way, it's so good to see you again, Kayla. How has Kilika been doing? As well as ever. She's one iron lady. You make it sound as though a long time has passed since you were last in Calvard. Angelica, that Kilika, is she who I think she is? You picked up on her name, huh? She's a practitioner of Taito. She's the one who taught me. I thought so. Kayla, have you also been trained in the Taito style? No, although I do admire Eastern martial arts and swordsmanship. Pursuing those arts requires serious dedication and investment of one time. I admire you for having reached intermediate level in the 8 Leaves 1 Blade style, Reen. Thanks. We can't go in there just yet. But like, as you can see, this is pretty similar to the layout of the place in CS2. They just fancied it up a bit for next gen. Well, I say next gen, but it's previous gen now. Oh, this coffee is excellent. Yeah, and the biscuits are great. They're Remiferia's specialties. I'm glad they're to your liking. Afternoon coffee and biscuits. What a wonderful custom. I could get used to this. So true. I was worried that you'd be pretty unapproachable since you're the Grand Prince's secretary. I was surprised to learn that you're not much older than us, though. You're really young for your position. My situation's quite different. I'm close friends with Princess Alphen. I've been appointed especially for this occasion. My family's quite well known in Remiferia. You might have heard of the Sealands. Let me think. Sealand? Where have I heard that name before? The Sealand Company produces medical equipment shipped worldwide. Remiferia is famous for being at the forefront of medical research, which becomes a bartering chip in relations with other nations. The Sealand family, besides owning a prosperous medical company, has strong connections in government. You've done your homework. The current state of affairs is deeply worrying for Remiferia. Our country is small and relies on advanced technology and scientific research to remain afloat. We're not prepared to deal with this war in the least. I understand your predicament. I wish there was something we could do to help. Well, let's see how these talks go first. I was wondering what her special secretary position was all about. She's very good with words, though. It's easy to see from her It's not easy to talk, though. It's easy to see things from her perspective, and she encourages others to side with her. The Grand Prince made the right choice appointing her. Apparently Elliot's interested in ballet. That's neat. Her hospitality is impeccable, and she makes amazing coffee, too. Aw. I think this is the room that Irene was trapped in last time? Actually, nah. We were trapped on that side. This is where the enforcers and stuff were staying, and holy crap, there's a lot of people in here. Let's say hi. I never dreamed I'd be in the presence of the President of Calvar and the Grand Prince of Remiferia. Crown Princess Claudia and Lieutenant General Cassius are here too. That's a bit too much. What's a commoner like me doing here mingling with royals? What's the problem? You're great at mingling. And besides, you've been helping out Lloyd and Reen a bunch. There's no reason for you not to be here. By the way, thanks for helping me and Agate cross the border into the Empire. Things would have been way harder without you. Tita, I told you that was no big deal. You saved my bacon too in Heimdall. Seems like Capwood Delivery Service is always there to help when we're in a pinch. Your services are a lifeline for the guild too. Everyone's very thankful to have you guys around. You don't work for Jaegers and you stay away from shady business. That counts in your favor too. Look, it's a business and we do what we have to in order to turn a profit. Ooh, she's blushing. Ooh. You guys, stop it! You really like teasing her, huh? Don't worry, it's friendly teasing. Leaves as well as the branch campus used to be within the Capua Barony. The members of Capua Delivery Service used to be Sky Bandits, but they seem like decent people. Hey, Reen. You're quite the social butterfly today. Just making sure I get to talk to everyone. Cassius is next on my list. Makes sense since you both study with Master Ka-Fi after all. If I'm being honest, I'm not really sure why he and Chloe agreed to come all the way here. And I don't know what to think about this Duchess Cayenne. This whole meeting is giving me some bad vibes. Musei's not a bad person, I promise. I can only imagine she must have been planning this for a while. She tries not to show it, but the situation in the Empire was probably bothering her a lot. You noticed too, didn't you, Instructor? Yeah, I did. But from what I heard, Yuna saw right through her when they met back up.
Sure, you may also be a genius who can come up with plans to change the fate of the world, but that's beside the point. There's no way an ordinary girl like you would be okay with a plan that would cost millions of people their lives, is there?
Her mask fell for a second then. She's only 16, too. Even younger than Fee. I've heard this and that about the Cayenne family. The Duke before the last was widely believed to be a just and wise noble. When he died in an accident, his younger brother inherited the title, but all he cared about was his personal interests. Muse's foolish uncle even stirred up the Civil War, and their family was about to be stripped of their title and privilege. And yet, here we are, with Muse as the mastermind behind a plan to save the world. She's got more guts than anyone on this ship. I think I can empathize with her more after hearing that. Yeah, me too. Judging from what I've heard, it's no surprise she understands. There's no telling how these talks will go until they're over and done with. But regardless of what major events are set in motion, we must not forget the individuals that we swept up. Muse's one of those individuals, so do me a favor and stay by her side. I doubt you need me to tell you that, though. You really are amazing. Huh? You really just say what you think without beating around the bush, huh? I see now why Tita compares you to the sun. You're bright, and you dispel any shadows of doubt in others. Thanks for the advice. That was my intention all along, but I needed the kick to get around to it. Glad to help. Good luck! Thanks. Estelle's so good. Oh, Estelle, there's something I've been dying to know. You and Joshua are together, right? But how far exactly did you guys go? That's so out of the blue! Don't try to wiggle out of it now. I'm burning with curiosity, too. You wouldn't have tried to dodge the question unless... Whoa. Why are you all bugging me about it? I can't tell you when Reem's right there. Well, what if he hears? Looks like they're talking about something personal. I don't want to be a third wheel. I'd better go. The question is, they've blinked many times. It's been 2 years and all. Badump. Can you try to tone it down a bit if possible? What? What's up, Estelle? Still no progress? Need some cheering up? I wouldn't say that. It's just... Hey, knock it off with the leading questions. Isn't it cute how Estelle gets all flustered? Yeah, it makes me want to jump right in and ask her for more details. Instructor Sarah, Fee, please, show her some mercy. Aww. Hey, Kurt, Nash, good to see you again. Happy to have your instructor back? Yes, very much so. It was only possible thanks to everyone's help. Agate was pretty impressive with that sword of his. Really see where he got the name Heavy Blade. Those two weren't bad either. I might have taken a couple of swings, but I was just one of many taking part in Operation Bust Reen out. Same goes for me and Kia. Maybe your timing was lucky, but credit goes to everyone equally. Joshua, Ash. Don't the two of you have something important to talk about? It's nice to see Josette and Estelle getting along. Ren. She's right. Don't put it off. Everything's going to shit right now. There's no guarantee you'll be able to see each other again. Yes, you should sort things out now. There's no denying that Rackwell's become home to you, Ash. But I'm sure there's value in learning about the place that led you there. Hommel was just a small village. It had no more than a few dozen inhabitants. As a result, there were very few children living there. Louvet was the oldest at 16, and my sister Karen was 15, and I was 6. But there was another boy, too. He was 3 years old. He was too young to play with us much. But ever since he was a baby, we looked after him. I was looking forward to playing with him when he was a little older. He was almost like a little brother to me. But then those peaceful days abruptly ended. A group of Jaeger dropouts posing as the Royal Army opened fire on the villagers. I watched on as Jan and Amelia were shot. There's blood everywhere. Their son fell to the ground, blood all over his clothes. We fled. We ran and ran, too afraid to look back. Survival was the only thing on our minds. That boy didn't die, though. He'd merely fainted from shock. We had no idea. Eventually, we made it out of the village. Louvet stayed behind to distract our pursuers. He told me and Karen to keep running. But we got ambushed by another group of Jaeger dropouts. Joshua, that's truly heart-wrenching. I've heard it before, but it gets me every time. That's what happened 14 years ago. At least, that's how I remember it. That boy we left behind might have a different perspective on the events of that day. He may have hated us for escaping without him, and I can't blame him. That bullet you fired at Emperor Eugen should have been for me. Joshua! It's alright, Ren. It was a shock when I heard about what happened in Heimdall. I realized the burden that boy from Hamel had to live with. But even though I felt immense guilt that we hadn't checked to see if he was alive, that we hadn't taken him with us, there was another feeling too. Overwhelming joy. I can't say how happy it made me when I found out he had survived. Joshua, thanks for being patient and listening to this long story of mine. Don't know why you'd bother telling me when it's got nothing to do with me, but it wasn't entirely boring. I managed to stay awake till the end. Ash. Ugh. Glad to hear it. Thanks, Ash. The Hamel tragedy took place about the same time I was first taken to Ymir. I'm glad Ash was able to hear Joshua's story. Oh, you know, just hit you right in the feels with that stuff. Oh, I didn't notice you were there, Instructor. Hey, Reen. Dude, eavesdrop much! Sorry about that. But the same event Joshua was talking about pretty much changed the course of my life, too. So it's at least a little relevant to me. Why so defensive, Ash? I thought you said Joshua's story had nothing to do with you. He's got you there. Whatever, screw all that old drama. We got plenty of new drama we could talk about instead. For example, what's going on with you and Russell, huh? The hell are you talking about? Huh? Oh, why don't you share with the rest of the class? Ren, it's not like that. Damn, you can't even see what's right in front of your face, old man? We all know what's going on. It's obvious to anyone with half a brain. Who are you calling old, you little brat? I'm only 28. Why are we even talking about this? That's a very Ash way to change the topic. He used to be such a crybaby. I'm glad Adios kept him safe. No, not just her. It's thanks to a number of kind-hearted people. Yeah, thanks for sharing that story with us, Joshua. Of course. Thank you as well, Reen, for all you've done for him. Yeah, they're the only two survivors left, but I mean, at least they have each other. That's it's a silver lining in this dark cloud. Cut the crap, man. Why the hell would you even say something like that? What? I'm just curious. Seriously though, you don't make a move, some other guy will sweep Tita off her feet before you know it. Ash, walk away slowly. Dude, Agate is ready to just punch him through a window. Finally getting to tell Ash about all this is really taking a load off my shoulders. Thanks for giving me the chance, Ren. No problem. You two are a lot alike, actually. You're both a little clumsy when it comes to your feelings. I can't deny that. Aw. Also cute together. Also, what is Tita freaking out now? Tita really wants to score that man. Come on, you got this, Tita. I believe in you. You bulked up since I last saw you, Lloyd. You haven't grown taller as much as you got wider in the shoulders. Life on the run's better than hitting the gym. I had to get my outfits retailored. Oh, I didn't notice. You see him every day, so the difference isn't as obvious. But he looks more like his brother now, doesn't he? I've only seen him in pictures, but yeah, I'd say so too. Now, if only I had his height, too. Is it Guy Bannings you're referring to? He was once a high-ranking officer at the Crossbell Police Department, but died in the line of duty 5 years ago. Yeah, we used to live nearby. I only know him from my memories of the past. He was really tall, and he seemed like a reliable person. Yeah, I feel like such a kid compared to him. Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that. But there's no use in wishing I was more like my brother. I've got to play the cards I've been dealt. It's me you've got, not him. And I'm determined as can be to end this and work for independence for Crossbell. Me too. Spoken like a true leader. It's no wonder you were able to shake myself and Instructor Reen off during our encounter 2 years ago. Yeah, Ash is a total troll, but like, he can't handle being trolled himself. Lloyd's been through a lot. In fact, I might have had it easier than him. It's news to me that he had a brother, though. His brother sounds like an amazing person, too. Instructor Reen, aren't you busy playing nice with everyone? Well, we've got to make the most of this opportunity. Lloyd, there's a lot for us to catch up on. I'd love to get a drink with the... a drink or two with you if you have the time, but... Sweet, I'm coming too. How about we go to a place I know when this thing lands? It's got some pretty nice, Randy. Alright. That's just like Randy. Actually, that reminds me. Risha Mao's busy elsewhere right now? Yeah, there's a bunch of different factions at play here, both within and outside Erebonia. The other members of the SSS and their close allies are all busy dealing with them. Like Noel, Chief Sergei Dudley, and Arios? That's right, Fran and Wazzy help us out too sometimes. Sonia and Mireille have been keeping their heads down though. They can't do too much considering their position. They're members of the same Crossbell Guardian force that was absorbed by the Imperial Army, aren't they? Both very capable officers. Yeah, they have the same objective we do, but different obligations. Not unrelated to the contents of today's meeting. Okay, I'm starting to get a clearer picture. You can't help but get an idea of the master plan, looking at all the people Muse and General Aurelia invited here. Maybe you should work for our intelligence department, Reen. I doubt I can match up to the pros. Okay, can somebody tell me what's going on? Same here. The only thing I know for sure is those two gotta stop showing off already. I believe you're just projecting, Instructor Randy. You could do the same if you tried, Randy. Hey, I'm not sure I like what you're saying, kiddo. Oh. Reen chatted with Lloyd's group for a while. Yeah, I mean, they just didn't want Risha and Arios in this game, because then they'd have to... do their character models and stuff. They did them in Haji, though, which is great. You know, I don't think I'll ever run out of things to chat with you about. But if I could bring up just one more thing. I heard from Yuna you play a bit of Vantage Masters. I play against Kia from time to time, so if you're ever raring for a match, you let me know. Oh yeah? You're on. Though, we'll have to make sure things don't get too out of hand. You're telling me. Alright, time to play Lloyd and Vantage Masters. Let's see if my crap deck here stands a chance. Oh god, he has a beast. Oh,
Here's
fuck.
to a good, clean match.
Ah, fuck, he has a Beast Master. I'm in trouble. Oh, he's going first. Ah, okay, I'm probably losing this match. Let's change these two out. Alright. Just let me kill you. Let me kill you fast. That's all I want, man. Alright, God, I hate Haster so much. And it's a fire type too. Oh my god. Ugh. Could waste my goddamn turn on that. Flex in the back row, sure. Well, luckily, I got this little trick. Okay, I think I recovered nicely. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, no, I'm... Nah, actually, it recovered health, huh? Okay, so I've got 2 for sure. 6. 11? No, I'm good, actually, right? I just ignore the front row entirely. Do that. Attack from range.
Dang, you're good at this.
There we go. And we got some new cards for our trouble. The Doc Holmes. Which are Earth cards, right? So they are 6 mana, 6/8. No skills, but they give health to cards in the front row? Or same row? Okay. That's a pretty good tanky card. Also, did I read the newest newspaper? I did not. I should probably check it out. Seems like a good idea to just do this now while we're chilling. Second West Zemuria Trade Conference soon. After delays and some other hiccups, the second West Zemuria Trade Conference is finally about to happen. VIPs are beginning to gather in Heimdall for the conference, where they'll work together to improve international affairs. Attendees. The representative attending from Remiferia, typo, will be its Prime Minister, in place of Prince Albert. Duke Dunan, the nephew of Liberal's Queen Alicia, will be joining as the Kingdom's representative. The conference will also be joined by representatives from Le Mans and Ord for the first time. Chancellor Osborne and Governor General Rufus will represent Erebonia, while Pred Cedric will speak for the Imperial family. As mentioned in a previous publication, Calvard will not be in attendance. Chancellor Osborne stated that this conference will be an opportunity to strengthen the ties between those involved in Operation Jormungand. Conference agenda. The conference will be split into 2 parts. The first will be focused on drafting common policy for dealing with Calvard, and the second on promoting cooperation between allied regions. There's no doubt that one of Chancellor Osborne's goals is to devise an agreement that will weaken Calvard through diplomatic and economic means. Military affairs. Armored divisions deployed. Preparations from Operation Jormungand are proceeding smoothly, and within a matter of days, 7 of our armored divisions are to reach the front line in Crossbell. The 8th Division is moving out towards the Remaferia-Calvard-Orid border. The 16th Division is to join the 1st in the Liberal Neutral Zone, where training maneuvers are in progress. Incident. Hijacked airship. The other morning, an airship en route from Ruhr to Ordis went missing. The cause was a hijacking by a Jaeger group. Within a few hours, the incident was resolved by the RMP and a group who happened upon the scene of Rock Patio in Lemaire. Several passengers of high berth were aboard, leading the RMP to suspect that the perpetrators were planning to abduct them and demand ransom. Column. Ladies Who Labor, Episode 3. In this installment of our popular series, we have the pleasure of introducing Adel, the proprietress of the Noche Rest Lodge in North Lemaire. This young noblewoman has taken up her position partly as a learning experience, but personal interest also plays a role. Many miners and military personnel are passing through the area lately and stopping by my lodge. I take pride in offering them my spin on fresh local cuisine, she told us. Adel is the head of the gardening club in her student years, and is a whiz at growing not only flowers, but vegetables too. Between the proprietress' elegant manner and her healthy, scrumptious dishes, chock full of local produce, Noche Rest Lodge is a refreshing oasis amidst the craggy mountain trails that surround it. Advertisement. Melda's Antique Shop. Offering antiques of all kinds, including clocks, lamps, and Rosenberg dolls. Installment payment plans available. Come see us during your next trip to Crossbell. Right, I should have done that earlier. Oh well. Let's go drinking sometime. Just disguised though. Oh hey, Grace is here. Well, I sure am lucky, getting invited on board the Pantagruel to carry out exclusive interviews. So many interesting people all in one place. Ellie, Tio, Elisa, and even Emma of the Hexen clan. The other day, back in Crossbell, I was thinking to myself, this seems like fate. Adios must have guided me here to thoroughly interview you all. Maybe later if it doesn't take too long. Sorry, but I preferred if you kept me out of the papers. Ever the keen journalist, Grace. You should be aware of this, but you won't be allowed to publish anything about this meeting in the foreseeable future. What about the freedom of press? Just kidding. I understand that being invited to this top-secret get-together is a great privilege, and I won't be able to write about it for a while. But once international relations become somewhat normalized, maybe I'll get the green light to publish a special report on this. After all, my duty as a journalist is to observe and document important events. That's definitely an important role. That's a sensible approach to take. I would take everything she says with a grain of salt. You're hoping the materials you collect here will win you the Pulitzer Prize, aren't you? Anyway, there's no harm in it, is there? I missed my chance last year and the year before. That's Grace, a journalist working in Crossbell. Whatever her reasons, she must have impressed the right people to be allowed here. What? Ah, the man of the hour. Green Schwarzer, will you agree to an interview? I'm not at liberty to talk about a lot of things. Grace, you're putting him on the spot. She's very single-minded about interviewing people, but she's a nice person. You're no help at all, Tio. Reen, you look just like Grace, walking around and sniffing out info. Well, it's not like I'm not curious about the meeting. By the way, I was surprised that Vita didn't show up. Me too. She left the barrier and vanished somewhere. It worries me a little. Yeah, it's kinda suspicious, huh? You're nervous she's plotting something. I don't mean to sound ungrateful since she's helped us numerous times, but Vita's known to pursue pretty questionable goals. I think we should give her the benefit of the doubt. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty, right? Thanks, Reen. If only the same could be said of my mother. Chairman Arena? Well, she's raised a wonderful daughter. There's no way she could be a bad person. Aw, thanks. That was nice of you. Do I sense a scoop? Why is the Ashen Chevalier so sweet to you? Are you perhaps in a relationship? Grace, control yourself. Sorry. You can tell her off any number of times, she'll go back to her MO right away. Aw. I'm sorry for all the trouble Grace caused you, Reen. Rest assured, I'll be scolding her later. That's alright, really. She wasn't that bad. I'm not sure if anything Grace did deserves Ellie's death stare. Seriously though, I'll have to officially interview you one day, and not just because I personally find you interesting. How the young hero faces the war. Yep, now that's something I'd love to publish once we get through all this. I'll consider it. Grace is really something, huh? I wish I had that much drive. In a way, she reminds me of Vivi. They're very different people, of course, but they have the same kind of assertiveness, let's say. It's a little more pronounced with Grace, though. Could be that's part of what it takes to be a journalist. Or maybe that pushiness is what drew them to journalism to begin with. And I just love all this. I don't think I talked to these guys for a second time. Alright. Yeah, I'll have it all. Justice is on our side. I don't need to go there at the moment. Oh, there you are. Introducing yourself to all the important people, are you? Well, I thought it wouldn't hurt. What are you up to? Not much. We're merely standing around. I've been on this airship before. I've seen all there is to it. Anyway, the talks will soon be over, so I might as well wait here. Is something bothering her? She's not hiding it very well, is she? It's about that man from Liberl, Cassius. She's been acting funny around him. Ah, I get it. He's the master of the 8 Leaves 1 Blade style. He used to go by the nickname Divine Blade. Hey, what are you talking about behind my back? It's rude to exclude people from a conversation when they're right there with you. Sorry about that. How are you doing, Rosine? Everything okay? More or less. I received report of some Ouroboros activity from the High Seat while I was on the way here. Nothing's happened yet, though. By the way, I heard there was an incident in the holy city of Arteria. I think Emma mentioned something about that too. Vita might know more about it, but as luck would have it, she's not here. Yes. Maybe she'll turn up eventually. Maybe, but as for me, I'm happy she's keeping her distance. I can relax without her annoying presence setting my teeth on edge. Enjoy it while you can. Should I ask the staff to fetch you a saucer of warm milk? Good idea. Thanks, Rosine. No, I want to talk to Celine. Speaking of young swordswomen, there's a fellow disciple of the 8 Leaf style who started before I did. She's not a direct acquaintance, but I heard that she's Master Koffai's granddaughter, and she's been practicing since childhood. Such a person exists? Yes, she's a bracer from Liberl. I don't think she's a direct disciple, but I think she's acquainted with Estelle and the others. I heard from Master Koffai that she's got great potential overall. A rival. I'll need to see this Liberl bracer with my own eyes. Immediately, Doobly decides that she must be a rival. Well, healthy competition's good, I guess. You know what? I can ship Oneless and Doobly. I think they would be cute together. Let's make it happen, Falcom. It's an honor to speak with you again. We haven't had the chance to talk leisurely since we were at the Esmelis Garden. It's been so long. I was kind of having an identity crisis when we last met. Somehow we've always been too busy to really talk. Yeah, true. Damn, all the generals here are strong as hell. You managed to hold off McBurn all on your own at Languedoc Canyon? That's pretty damn awesome. My father fought McBurn as well. Though he seemed alright at the time, the damage his body suffered manifested later. Have you noticed anything similar? No, luckily I seem to be perfectly fine. I don't think it was because he was going easy on me. He seemed dead set on inflicting as much pain as possible. I think he might have been particularly vicious when he was fighting Viscount Arcade. Oh, I was worried about Wallace too. It's good to know he's okay. It'd be nice to have a friendly duel with him one day. And also, Wallace and McBurn were fighting in an open area, while the Infernal Castle was pretty much cut off to the world, so, you know, all that smoke builds up. Well, well, is that you, Schwarzer? You look awfully serious. The situation's pretty grave. At least I finally have a sense of what direction I should be heading in. I've got my allies to thank for that, and for lending me their strength. That's good. Guys, you seem to have gotten used to your new powers. Barkhorn was a legend, there's no doubt about that. But I think you'll be another. That's kind of you to say so. I hope it won't sound patronizing, but I've been concerned about you. I see now that I needn't have worried. You're doing well for yourself, and you'll go far if you keep it up. You know how to build my confidence. I appreciate it. They both studied under Barkhorn. I'm thankful they've got a good relationship. I should speak with Cassius soon. Some interesting people walking around calling themselves General. Looks like even that Lieutenant General Cassius from Liberal's pretty damn good. Yeah, I was hoping for a chance to talk to him, but... No, I want to talk to Wallace. Ooh, excuse me. Alright, and now that I've triggered all the events, I can head to the center. Mulgrim, head to the center! More dots! Sounds like the meeting's over.
Oh, you there, young man.
You're Reen Schwarzer, correct?
Yes, that's right. I'm honored to make your acquaintances.
As am I. Stories of the Ashen Chevalier have certainly made their rounds across Calvin. Though I suppose not all of those stories paint you in the best light.
That's perfectly understandable. However, I hear you single-handedly destroyed a number of our tanks and gunships without killing those within. It was quite a feat which spiked my curiosity. I see now why Lady Mildine, Princess Alphen, and General Le Guin hold you in such high esteem. Thank you for the compliment. Please accept my apologies about your tanks. It was nothing personal. You've also played a part in the Northern War, didn't you? Remiferia and North Ambria have been on friendly terms for quite a long time. It pains me greatly that we could not do anything to help them. Your involvement contributed a significant reduction in casualties amongst their citizens, though. You give me too much credit. I wasn't acting alone. No need to be so humble. I heard stories about you from refugees who fled to Remiferia when North Ambria was incorporated into the Erebonian Empire. Modesty is a fine trait, but it starts to grate when people downplay their achievements. Acknowledge your importance. You're the person whose actions may very well decide the fate of the world, after all. There's still plenty of time until dinner. If you'd like to chat some more, I'll be in my room. Since the acting Duke Alborea and the fellow from the Inspectorate are here, why not invite them along as well? I've already informed them. I will also be retiring to my room until dinner. feel free to come and see me if you wish. I'd like to speak with Lloyd, too. I'll go and tell him.
I was wondering when we'd finally get the chance to meet.
Lieutenant General Bright, I've heard much about you from Master Ka-Fi. I don't think I've had the chance to introduce myself to you either, Your Highness. I am Reen Schwarzer, son of Baron Teo Schwarzer and disciple of the Eight Leaves One Blade style. I currently work as an instructor for Thor's Military's Academy branch campus. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintances.
Oh, no. The pleasure is all mine, I assure you. In a way, this feels closer to a reunion than a first meeting. Perhaps it's due to all the tales I've heard about you from Tita and Josette. And from Prince Olivert as well.
I'm honored to hear that. What happened to Olivert was truly heartbreaking. He had this grand vision, you see. It wasn't only with Erebonia's best interests in mind, but those of the entire continent. Yes, he was a great man. Victor and Toval were good friends of mine as well. Their deaths have dealt a heavy blow to Erebonia. I'd even say it was felt by the whole continent. But now we must carry on without them, even if that involves committing to something they most certainly would never have approved of. Huh? If you'd like, why don't you stop by to chat for a bit before dinner? Cassius, you wanted to talk to Estelle, didn't you? Yes, and the others as well. Ren, Tita, Agate. Please, do come along, Reen. We could reminisce about Master Ka-Fi together. I'll definitely stop by.
Oh, Reen! There you are!
Hello, Princess Alphen. Are you alright? Of course! I was a little shocked about the topics of discussion, but I suppose it's good we were able to talk about all those pressing issues. Princess? I see. I'm sorry I couldn't reveal the intended scale when I invited you, Princess. I trust you understand that this was an inevitable reality. Your presence here was of the utmost importance. Yes, I'm well aware of my responsibilities. With neither father nor my brothers available, it falls to me to represent the Imperial family and remain informed of the current situation. Would you be so kind as to share some of that information with us at dinner? That's the plan. Dinner won't be served for a while, though. Princess Alphen, Elise, why don't you join me for tea? You may join as well, Instructor, but the topic of discussion will most likely not interest you, given how easily you embarrass. I can never tell if you're joking, Muse, but tea sounds good to me. Yes, count me in, too. Oh, maybe Claudia could join us. Yes, I'll extend an invitation to her. Instructor Reen, will you be coming? Please do. If you insist, I'll see you in a bit. Alright. There's still time to chat with the attendees before dinner. I might want to speak with the President and Prince Albert. There's Lieutenant General Bright, too. People have moved to new locations. Guess what? You gotta do it again. So once again, get your saves ready. Wowzers, an exclusive interview like this sure makes my day. What are your thoughts on the developments since the trade conference 2 years ago? And what's your take on the recent incident in the Principality? I've answered those questions for Arden Press before. Grace, was it? Listen, Grace, it's all very well that you're so motivated, but you should think your questions through beforehand. Somehow it hurts that much more being told off by a stunningly beautiful woman. Sounds like they're in the middle of a spirited conversation. Anyway, let's visit the liberal waiting room for now. No, let's view these little sub-events first. President Rocksmith, in your opinion, how's the prognosis for Calvard looking? Not too bad, I'd say. For now. Lady Mildean's sharp intellect is truly something to be feared, isn't it? The situation being as it is, I'm determined to see things through on my end. President Rocksmith. What the new party does with the country once it's in their hands, though, I couldn't really say. I might have some information that could be of interest to you. Rocksmith's term is nearly over. I shouldn't interrupt their conversation. I'll come back a bit later. Let me in. Okay, fine. Chloe, how are you? I'm well, thanks. I haven't seen you in 3 months. Good to see you again, Joshua, Ren, and you guys. Been a while. Tia and I saw you in Gransel before we set off to Erebonia. I'm so happy to see you again. It was the same for us, but we headed for Calvard instead. How's the Queen? Very well, thanks for asking after her. She couldn't have attended with all the attention around her right now. That's why she sent me in her stead. I see. She needed someone trustworthy to represent her. But if these talks are so crucial, why didn't Julia and Zeke come too? Siegfried. Her bird is named Sig. I imagine some urgent matters kept them busy. Sig hardly has a moment to spare working as a messenger. I see. Based off that, I suppose I have an idea of what's going on. Yeah. I doubt people were just making small talk over tea and biscuits in there. Can you share anything with us, Dad? We haven't seen each other in half a year, and it's straight to business with neither hello nor hug. I suppose a father can't hope for love and affection from his daughter once she's left the nest and become independent. Don't guilt-trip me for not being all sugary sweet. You seem well anyway. You too, Sunshine. Joshua, everything alright? Yes, all's going well. So you're Chloe's bodyguard today, Dad? Oh, don't tell me that's all you're here for. I won't believe it. Well, have some patience. Everything will be revealed soon enough. Ren, did you get taller? You've grown a lot since I last saw you. I'm only taller by 5 reach. I'll catch up with Tita at this rate. No, please don't. It took me so long to stop looking like a kid. Don't worry, Tita. You're still growing. You're only 16. Estella just joined the Bracers when she was your age. Feels like only yesterday we were traveling around Liberl together. I was a Sky Bandit back then. You might be older now, Estelle, but you're as happy-go-lucky as ever, I see. That's not the worst thing in the world, is it? As for you, Josette, even growing up, you never lost that little urchin attitude. It's part of my personal identity, you see. Tita, I hear you've been making a name for yourself. Your grandfather had nothing but praise for you. Apparently, though, your mom worries about you a lot. Aw, she's just a worrywart. I write to her a lot to let her know I'm fine. I already messaged her to tell her that everything's okay. She mentioned something about Agate getting his comeuppance next time she sees him, too. She said she was drafting a new research project involving human test subjects? What? Mom? It's like the good old times again. That reminds me. Estelle, did you see Zin when you were in Calvard? I did. It was just before I came to Erebonia. He asked me to pass messages for him to my dad and a few others. Oh, brilliant! They've got lots to talk about. I don't want to interrupt their fun. I should come back later. Oh, hello, Instructor Reen. Reen, sorry, we were so caught up in catching up that we didn't mean to exclude you. Don't be shy, boy. Come and join us. Sure, if you don't mind. Aww. You seem to be enjoying yourselves. But that's no surprise when good friends get together. They bonded during the orbital shutdown phenomenon. It's regrettable Olivert is no longer with us, and Scheherazade has gone missing as well. Regardless, we must stay focused on what's ahead of us and try to remain optimistic. Wise words. By the way, I'm happy to see you, Reen. Master Koffai has been telling me about you. This young man has even more potential than you, Cassius. I'm sure that's not true. He must have been teasing you. Besides, there's so many complicating factors now. Oh, are you speaking of your background? I've heard of it. And I'm aware of the cause of your altered appearance, too. Don't worry too much about what you can't change, Reen. And, by the way, I got a letter about you a month ago, from a certain man on an eastward journey. You don't mean Master Koffai? But I was still in prison then. Yes, so I hear. Oddly enough, it was foretold in the letter. Whether it was prophecy or just wild guess, I cannot tell. A frighteningly accurate prediction. What was the letter about exactly? That's the thing, Reen. In the light of the current situation, I'm afraid I cannot tell you yet. Huh? It's not the right time, nor place. But to give you a rough idea, it's about the final art of our school of swordsmanship. In this time of turbulence, become the flashing blade which illuminates the darkness, even if for the briefest moment. Once I have returned from the east and we have reunited, I shall impart to you my final teachings. The arts our master taught me include Helix and Void, but you, Reen, may go even beyond that. Of course, you understand that seeking mastery of our style will be most difficult. Of course, with the way I am now, I'm not confident I could ever achieve it. But you're right, this isn't the place to discuss it. Just keep it in mind. We'll come back to it later. I'll relay our master's message for you once the circumstances are right. We've yet to see where today's talks lead to, but a time when great determination and sacrifice are needed is no doubt to come. I'll be ready for it. Aw, they got on like a house on fire. Yeah, you couldn't tell they've only just met. Having something unique in common, like their fighting style, brings people together. I'm feeling a bit jealous now. Looks like we're the outsiders. I totally get that, though. Agate, are you feeling left out, too? Nah, why'd I care? Excuse me for butting in. I'm from the Crossbell News. Could you please spare some time for a really quick interview? Your Grace. Serious about your job, I see. I bet Niall and Dorothy gave you their list of questions for the attendees, too. Cassius and Claudia agreed to the interview. Reen and the others excused themselves to give them some privacy. Everyone's been moving around. There's still time to chat with the attendees before dinner. People have moved to new locations. The main story will progress once you've seen the sub-events. Some optional content will be available once you progress to the main story. Alright, one more time, guys. Let's start with these four. Have there been any updates on Hercules? We're still unable to locate them. With the rammed stealth function and the mobility of a gunship, they are very hard to track down. We're not going to give up, of course. I heard you requested the Bracer Guild's help with this. Yes, although they haven't been able to dig up any new information since we lost sight of Hercules in the canyon. I heard about that from the guild too. I guess when the Special Forces squad equipped with the latest technology wants to disappear, it'd take a miracle to track them down. The Ramda. We've seen firsthand in Heimdall how its spatial projection function can seriously impede pursuit. They'd only surrender. There'd be room for negotiations with Erebonia. Maybe the curse has progressed too far for that. The Dark Dragon made the members of the Hercules squad into its kin back in Heimdall. The Great Twilight must have taken that and twisted them into Noct Familia. Noct Familia? Those are vampires from Erebonian folklore, if I'm not mistaken. Is there any way to make them human again? It's possible if you act quickly. If you find them within a few days, they should be fine. So, that's our time frame. Gayla, let me know if you pick up their trail. We might be able to help in some capacity. You're volunteering to help? That's much appreciated. That was an interesting bunch. Hey, Schwarzer. Hey, guys. You're discussing armed forces movements on different fronts? Rosine, I'm surprised to see you with them. I've got my reasons. As you overheard, we're trying to get a better picture of where each militarized faction's allocating its resources. Besides the Viceland army, I wanted to check in with the Bracers and the armored divisions, too. I've also been looking into the armored division's movements. It seems they've established a new squad. The Guild's also keeping an eye on the situation. We're tracking high-ranking Jaeger Corps movements and gauging the neighboring countries' responses. It'd be helpful to trade info with you guys. Oh, I see. And you're also gathering intel on military movements, Rosine? As a matter of fact, yes. There's no organization that understands and fears the Great Twilight more than the Septine Church. The details are confidential, but we've already decided on which measures to take. Seriously? I can only imagine what that means. We'll all benefit from cooperating. But in any case, we'll return to Operation Mil Mirage at dinner. For now, let's just take a break. Sounds like a plan. Can't wait to hear the details of the operation, but I've got to be patient. Let's walk around some more. We'll talk tactics over dinner. Angelica, stay away from them. Hi, I'm Kia Bannings. Ren told me a lot about you, Tita. Nice to meet you. I'm Tita Russell. I can't believe it, Ren. She's so cute. Yeah, that's how most people react to her. You must be Angelica Rogner. Nice to meet you. I'm Ren Bright. I hear you've been trained in the Taito style by Kilika Roran? Oh, that's cool. It's nice to meet you, Angie. Or do you like Jellica better? This is paradise. What? Not what you should say in front of Ren, but hey. Angelica, are you alright? We're only 2,000 arch above ground, but it seems we're flying close to the heavens. Tita alone is an angel, but the three of you together form an angelic choir. No, remain calm, Angelica. Celine, what's going on here? Beats me. I was just having a nap and I woke up to this. I can't stand it anymore. Angelica? She's faster than lightning. Hug attack! Squeeze! My life is complete. You're just gonna stand by and watch this happen, huh, Reen? I'm just waiting for things to calm down so I can say hello. Need to get you a restraining order, lady. Holy shit. Angelica, please try to calm down. If you get any more whipped up, you'll have a heart attack. That aside, the fact that you're all girls doesn't mean your antics aren't sexual harassment. Oh, hey, Celine. Here, kitty kitty. Come on, turn to a cat girl for me, please. Do it to save them from my beastly instincts. Keep your dirty paws off me! please go take a cold shower or something. For all our sakes. Man. Yep, we need to get Angelica a restraining order. She just keeps getting worse every game. Hey. Sorry about Angelica. She's a good person, she's just... well... I'm used to getting hugs. It reminded me of something George told me about her. Yeah? Yes, she may be a practitioner of the Taito style, but her movements there were inhuman. Wasn't she being manipulated by the gnomes? Maybe they did something to her that stuck. Oh, no. She's just like this. I like Angie a lot. You can never have enough cuddles. Sweet Adios, her cuteness is making my brain melt. Maybe you should give her a chance to cool off. You know, before she explodes or something? Get this girl a restraining order. Get this girl a straitjacket. Oh my god. Cassius, how you been? When was it that we last saw each other? Goodness, it's been 4 years at least. I'm sorry I missed your A-rank promotion ceremony. It coincided with the orbital shutdown phenomenon, so there was no helping it. Thank you for writing my recommendation. You're welcome. Have you managed to come to terms with Colonel Valestein passing away? Yes, I've been lucky to be surrounded by good supportive friends from the Bracer Guild and my wonderful students. Laura is one of my students. Kurt's a student of my student. I'm Laura Arcade. You, sir, are a legend. It is truly an honor to meet you in person. I'm very glad to meet you too, Laura. I've had the pleasure of working with Victor on the Bracer Guild branch bombing case. He praised you highly. Please, accept my sincere sympathy. His loss must have hurt you deeply. Thank you, sir. My father once told me that seeing your prowess with the staff firsthand would be a beneficial experience for me. I believe you were self-taught? Not quite. I learned the basics from a friend. I also took the liberty of incorporating teachings of the 8-Leaf School into it. I'm very impressed, sir. Only those who are very talented are able to do so. Kurt, why don't you introduce yourself? Yes. I'm Kurt Vander, younger brother of Mueller Vander and nephew of Zex Vander. Pardon me, sir. You're quite the hero. I feel a bit overwhelmed. Take it easy. I'm not all they say about me. I've met your brother and uncle, but I don't believe I've ever spoken to your father. When things calm down a little, I'd like to pay a visit to your folks. I fear I've been rather impolite in not having done so yet. Oh, not at all. I'm sure my mother and father would be thrilled to meet you. Cassius has a lot of connections both in the army and among the bracers. I could spend the whole evening talking to him about swordplay, but it'd be rude to monopolize him like that. I'll relay our master's message for you once the circumstances are right. But a time when great determination and sacrifice are needed is no doubt to come. I'll have to be patient. Oh, Reen. Come and join us. Don't mind if I do. By the way, was the Silver Streak an acquaintance of yours, Cassius? Yes, she was a pupil of mine at the guild. It's very odd that she's vanished into thin air. Yes, no one seems to be able to track down her whereabouts. If she wasn't at the gnome's headquarters, could it be possible that Ouroboros abducted her? No, Shara has a relative who's among the ranks of Ouroboros. I find it hard to believe that they'd kidnap her. I think I know who you mean. Sherazard mentioned her to me when we went out drinking. Enforcer number 6, the Bewitching Belle, yes? Duvalie? Yep, that's her. She showed up in Liberl during the orbital shutdown, too. But it's unknown whether she's still alive. It seems she hasn't reported back to Ouroboros since that incident. They haven't written her off as dead yet, though. It's assumed the situation's similar to Blue Blanc's, that she's out there somewhere, going about her business. The Silver Streak was like a sister to her, though. She wouldn't keep quiet if Ouroboros had abducted her. I see. We might as well drop that line of investigation. My, if it isn't the Stalwarders, Duvalie the Swift. You seem very well informed. I could say the same about you, especially considering you don't have ties with Ouroboros yourself. I understand now why the Faceless was remarkably wary of you. My lord is also intrigued by you. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear how you achieved mastery in so many disciplines. Oh. Swordplay, military arts, strategy? And I hear your master's disciple Arios is just like you. Yes, I've heard rumors about him. Just for reference, if you could tell us if there's any particular trick to it. Not that it impresses me all that much, but both you and Arcade were renowned as the finest swordsman alive, so it must count for something. I can't think of many honors greater than the Maiden of Legend herself taking an interest in me. Well, ask me anything and I'll try to satisfy your curiosity. Although we may not be able to go into much detail this time. That's fine. First of all, why did you give up the sword and switch to the staff? Dubely's so easy to read. But that's part of her charm. She's polite to everyone and doesn't look down on others even if they're her enemy. As expected of the Steel Maiden's disciple, I look up to her as well. I thought I sensed someone spying from over here. To be honest, I'm honored that you think me worthy of your attention, Dubely the Swift. Guess I should have known I couldn't stay hidden from you. But don't get the wrong idea. I wasn't just sitting over here waiting for your meeting to end or anything. Anyway, I have a few questions about your school's concept of enlightenment. Very well. I can't promise it'll be comprehensive, but I'll tell you what I can. I'm really curious about what the Divine Blade of Wind has achieved myself. What? Arios isn't here! I'm very curious about what the Divine Blade, cut that off, has achieved myself, but I probably shouldn't butt into their chat. The staff, huh? Never a weapon favored by my family. Thrust with a spear, sweep with the naginata, slash with the greatsword is a motto I've heard. Yes, that's an Eastern saying. I'm surprised you knew it. Did you pick that up from Aurier? Her style is partially influenced by Eastern swordsmanship. Though not quite the same as the staff, I've seen her make use of a naginata before. Sounds like a valuable experience. Looks like the rumors about the Stormwatcher's talents are true then. Your 8-leaf style is the only Eastern discipline I've seen firsthand. I'd love to travel to the East and learn more about different schools of swordsmanship. Scheherazade and I are actually the same age. Plus, we both like our alcohol. We had a few drinks together and we really hit it off. Like two drunk peas in a pod. I am worried about her, but I can't imagine the Silver Streak going down without a fight, you know? I have to believe that she's safe. I'm right there with you, Sarah. What's the sword to the 8-leaf style? How do you train with it? Dubely must be really curious about this. I want to talk about it, but now's probably not a good time. Aww. Anyway, let's talk to her girlfriend. And also Ellie, Elisa, and Aurelia. Oh, so your mom moved to Erebonia? Yeah, she couldn't stand Crossbell after splitting with my father, who's Calvardian. She moved in with her relatives. That was 10 years ago. Time flies. Oh, I think you've told me about this before. I feel like I'm forgetting something. That rings a bell, actually. Distant relatives of the noble McDowell family from Crossbell? That would be the Barons of Eastern Lemaire, if I'm not mistaken. How did you... Oh, of course, you're from Lemaire yourself. You're right. Family trees can get so sprawling you can't easily tell who's related to who. In fact, that Baron's relatives are also distant relatives of my family. Oh? Maybe that's why your hair color's the same. That pearl gray shade is definitely unusual. But the two of you have almost the exact same shade. That's right, it runs in the family. I don't know, maybe I'm just blind, but those don't look like the same color to me. We may be very distant cousins, but we share the same blood nonetheless. I had no idea. What a pleasant surprise. Aurelia Le Guin, a cousin. Glad to have you as my family, Ellie McDowell. Aw, that's so sweet. Uh-oh, now I'll tense up every time I talk to Ellie. And why would that be, Miss Crawford? No reason. I suppose this hints at the close ties between Erebonian and Crossbell, which stretches back centuries. Crossbell's also been cooperating with Calvard for a long time, and now they're in this awkward position where they have to choose between one ally or the other. It feels so wrong. Oh, Elisa. That's precisely the case. I probably don't have any right to say that, considering my own position. No, your honesty is much appreciated. It was wonderful to talk to you, Elisa. Same. Thank you for all the advice, Ellie. It's really nice to be in the company of people who really get along. Yes, friendship is beautiful, isn't it? I heard about Ellie's mother, or at least someone who seemed like her, living in an Erebonian town. I guess that's what was nagging at me earlier. Come on. Elisa and Ellie met in Crossbell and have been good friends ever since. Yuna's friends with both of them. She's an amiable girl. But I wouldn't have seen it coming that they'd be chatting with the principal. Principal, I'm dying to know what the meeting was about. Come on, what are you and Muse planning? My, so you've been trying to figure it out? Patience, my dear. Everything will be explained at dinner. It may surprise you, but, well, stay open-minded. Huh? Everyone who took part in planning is trying to hide how tense they are. It makes me a little worried. How are you doing? Very well, thank you. Just catching up with the friends. We've been exchanging messages since we met 3 months ago. We discovered that we had some shared interests. Shush, Ellie, don't tell him! What interests? Why is Elisa so cagey about it? Oh, wait, I have an idea. Never mind. Ellie, let's talk about that in private. Okay, we're in a similar situation anyway. I'm sure you have nothing to worry about. You'd be surprised. Next to them, I feel like a kid lost in the dark. You'll get there in time. Schwarzer, you could probably learn a thing or two from them as well. I'm not sure what the conversation was about, but I'm always reminded there's plenty of room for me to learn from others. Saying that like you aren't bopping him on the side. Come on. Oh! I spy with my little eye. Elise Schwarzer, Princess Alvin's trusted friend and the sister of the Ashen Chevalier. You're friends with Lady Mildine, too, aren't you? We need to talk. If you have questions about my friends, I'd rather you talk to them directly. I'm no gossip. Oh, I wouldn't try to drag out any embarrassing stories about your friends. Nothing of the sort. You're a reporter from Crossbell. So, she's your next target on your hunt for a big scoop? Aw, don't make me sound like some fierce predator. The only thing ferocious about me is my intellect. Hold on. Aren't you Ash Carbide? The guy who shot the Emperor? What's the truth behind that story? How'd it feel to pull the trigger? Oh crap, what'd I get myself into now? Oh my gosh, and that tall gentleman? Is that the 8th Dominion of the Gralsritter? There are several topics I'd love to interview you in depth about. Not that I'm totally in the dark about what you've been up to. Wachi, Kevin, and Rias have already spilled some beans. Did they? Don't be shy, I don't bite. Seems like this is the party corner. Brilliant! Here comes the hero to join us! This is perfect. Let's go to that empty room over there so we can all talk in private. I'm not against an interview myself, but I'd much rather you didn't hound my friends and family for one. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself there, I guess. But if there's anything you could tell me about that I could quote in my report, like maybe just a short comment from each of you? That's not unreasonable, sure. Dude, speak for herself. What if I gave her dirt on you? You're being a little overprotective. Typical Reen, really. This journalist might be the biggest pain in the ass I've ever met, and that's coming from me. I thought Vivi could be pushy. This woman operates on another level. Oh, boy. Thank you for what you did. I talked to Grace. She doesn't seem like a bad person. If it's just simple information collecting, maybe you can get it from her. Do you really think I'd do that? Yes. It's been a long time since we last met. We haven't had the chance to speak since the trade conference 2 years ago. It's nice to see you again. And you, I'm glad to see you all seem to be doing well. Lady Mildy, it's also the first time in many years that I've had the pleasure to talk with you. While I wouldn't call these the ideal circumstances, I'm delighted. You're a most impressive young lady now. You flatter me. It's good to have time to chat about non-official affairs, yes? So, you've known each other for a while? Prince Albert was a good friend of my late father. Yes, we met for the first time over a decade ago. Somehow, Alfred and I got on fabulously well right from the start. We talk about politics, economics, and social issues from evening till the early morning hours. The lakes and marshes of Remiferia enchanted Alfred, and he'd often bring his family there. That takes me back. I was just a little girl back then, but I vaguely remember our visits. I mostly played with your niece. She was the same age as me, I believe. I'd like to see her again. That's right. You two really liked each other, didn't you? Speaking of your niece... Oh, that's right. I haven't seen her in ages. There have been some rumors going around about her, huh? She's become intractable lately. As her uncle, I want to protect her, but she's certainly not making it easy. Sometimes I think she does it just to spite me. He's gotten really grumbly. He must care a lot about his niece, though he does seem a bit overprotective. Oh, he's always been like this. Apologies for the discretion. I don't mean to bore you with family issues. Remiferia will gladly provide you with assistance, be it human resources or medical services. If the SSS needs anything, do not hesitate to let me know. Tio, I'm aware of your family situation. If there's anything I can do. Thanks for the kind offer. It isn't as bad now. We've even been keeping in touch more. Ah, that's a relief. Prince Albert's a friendly guy, and Muse's known him for a long time. Looks like she made connections early on. I should say hello to the prince, too. You know, we've actually met Prince Albert on a few occasions. Some of our work with the SSS even involved his direct cooperation. Wow, really? I had no idea that. Oh man, typos everywhere. That's not all he's done for us. We have a lot to thank him for. Right, like how he helped out with my parents. That's a surprising amount of shared history. But I guess it kind of makes sense. For a head of state, he seems remarkably open and approachable. Ah, Mr. Schwarzer. Meeting you has truly been a pleasure. And what fortune that you turned out to be Muse's teacher. He's the best instructor I could ever ask for, too. How wonderful. Perhaps when the world is again at peace, you can visit Remiferia. It's a beautiful place, and I imagine you'd find much to enjoy. We'd be honored. I hope we can visit soon. Sounds like a perfect honeymoon destination. I had no idea your relationship extended beyond that of teacher-student. Another typo. It doesn't. Please don't take anything she says too seriously. Thank you for the invitation, President Rocksmith. There's no need to be so tense in my presence, Machias. Would you like a cup of coffee? There's tea for me, and coffee with milk and sugar for Miss Herschel. It would seem Calvard's information agency is staffed with only the very elite. Well, their human resources are going to change now, as the new party takes over for me. Is that right? So, Herschel, we met at the West Zemuria Trade Conference 2 years ago, isn't that right? If my memory doesn't fail me, you had coffee with milk and sugar at the banquet. Your memory's excellent. That's Samuel Rocksmith, the president of Calvard. As with most people in power, he easily dominates the atmosphere with his presence. Even though he's on the way out, he is still a very influential man. My, welcome, Ashen Chevalier. Unfortunately, I have been informed what your beverage of choice might be. But since you're so well-versed in Eastern culture, perhaps green tea would be to your liking. Oh, thank you, but I dropped in only for a brief chat. I wouldn't want to make a nuisance of myself. I imagine there are plenty of others who'd like to speak with you today. By the way, I want to ask for your opinion on your colleague, Toa Herschel. Wouldn't you say that her conflict resolution talents are perfect for the CID? President Rocksmith? I didn't see that coming. I heard you were bold, sir, but I never thought you'd suggest something quite that bold. I'm nowhere near as audacious as the Chancellor. Soon I won't have much authority anymore. However, I really cannot stand seeing young talent not being put to good use. It's quite fortunate we met today. If you have any gifted friends who might be inclined to move to Calvard, let me know. I'd gladly welcome them with open arms. Sorry, no one comes to mind. You're really not one to beat around the bush. Oh my god. I have to say, I'm impressed that you decided to attend the conference in person, President Rocksmith. It's shameful to admit in retrospect, but I was always under the impression that Calvardian politicians cared only about themselves. And with good reason, I'm already looking forward to the end of my term. To be free of these presidential burdens! President Rocksmith, he may try to laugh it off, but it seems like there's more going on with him than meets the eye. You know, Marcius, I've heard great things about you. If you ever get tired of the way the Empire treats you, I'd be happy to find you a position in our government instead. You have an excellent sense of humor, Mr. President. Must be hard being so in demand. Hang in there, Marcius. Oh, man. Claudia, I'm terribly sorry about earlier. I was so taken aback I lost my composure. Thank you for being so kind to me. Oh, of course. Considering the subject, it was no wonder you became agitated. You have a huge responsibility on your shoulders as a representative of the Imperial family. Thank you for being so understanding. Now that rings alarm bells. I'll just wait for the announcement at dinner and try not to worry for now, but... Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Estelle Bright, member of the Liberal Bracer Guild. It's a great honor to meet you in person, Princess Alphen. There's no need to be so formal with me. I've heard so much about you from my brother, I feel like we're already friends. Oh. Olivier was a dear friend, and what happened to him was a terrible shock. He went out of his way to get permission for me and Joshua to visit Hamel once things settled down in Liberal. I still can't believe he's dead. It's awful, and I really wish I could have done something. Only one of us had been at Heimdall at the time. Me, Joshua, or Shara. But our grief surely pales in comparison with what you feel. Estelle, thank you for having been a good friend to my brother. I feel a little better knowing that there were people who cared so much about him. Olivert was a very thoughtful and brave man, and a lot of fun to be around. When I was hesitant about whether to accept my duty as a crown princess, he gave me the push I needed. He also fostered friendly relations between Erebonian and Liberal. Despite his airhead appearance, he was a smart leader. Thank you, Claudia. He'd tease me for being so easily moved to tears. He'd come out with a line like, "At a time such as this, I'd like you to be the ray of sunshine which makes courage bloom." That does sound like him. Regrettably, I never had the chance to meet Prince Olivert in person. However, I heard about him encouraging greater integration and cooperation between all nations of the continent. Please accept my sincere condolences, Princess Alphen. Thank you, Lucy. By the way, you were Claudia's upperclassman at school, weren't you? Really? Oh my gosh! Actually, Chloe did tell us about that Lecter person before. Does that mean? That's correct. I went to Liberl to study at Genus Royal Academy. I was on the student council together with Lecter Arundel. Yuto looked after me really well back then. It made my school life that much more enjoyable. What a small world. He's an Ironblood and a member of the Intelligence Division. He's a stranger person than I thought. But wait, the famously beautiful vice president who'd force the student council president to listen to her no matter what? That'd be me. Chloe, I'd wish you didn't spread exaggerated rumors about me. Sorry, but they're not exaggerated at all. Even now, I can't forget you saying that brute force is the most important asset one can have. You're embarrassing me now. Wait, did I really say that to you? Not directly. I overheard your conversation with Hans. So you were following me around and listening into my conversations with other students? Teehee. I wouldn't have guessed they knew each other so well. Oliver was so beloved by people from different backgrounds. It's a real shame he died so young. I'd be curious to hear more about Claudia and Lucy's school life, too. Now Lecter stands on the opposite side of his former classmates. I'm sure I'll cross paths with him again. And with Claire, too. Sorry, Reen. Here we are talking amongst ourselves again and leaving you out. I can get going and free up some space. No, please don't leave on my account. You haven't seen each other in a while. I'm sure you have a lot to talk about. Getting to exchange a few words with you in person has already been a great honor. With luck, we'll meet again and have a longer chat then. You're too humble, Reen. Indeed. That reminds me, weren't you one of the testers for the Orbital Communication Network? I also got a test account from Ren. What would you say to exchanging network addresses? Are you sure? Why not? Don't be shy. Princess Claudia doesn't limit her circle of friends to the upper classes. When she enrolled at the academy, she did so under an assumed name in order to be treated like any normal girl. Lucy, I don't need a spokesperson. In that case, I'll gladly give you my network address. It shouldn't become a diplomatic issue if we're just playing a game together. I hope. So yeah, now we can play Palm against Princess Claudia. Yeah, I beat Ash off screen. I'm just gonna try once. If I lose, I lose. That's kind of how this shit goes.
My sincerest congratulations.
Easy peasy. Alright. I had some good combos going there, so that helps out a lot. Alright then. Hey, Reen. Don't be a stranger. Come and join us. What have you guys been talking about? Jaeger troop movements and stuff related to the war. As well as Ouroboros' presumed plans. Oh, I've been wondering about those things too. Right now, it looks like they're both serving the Imperial government, just like the gnomes. It's a really nasty mix, if you ask me. The old Northern Jaegers and Needhogg are in a different situation, though. Yeah, the Imperial Defense Force forced them to cooperate using hostages. They're currently looking for a chance to free them. What they do from now on depends on whose pocket they find themselves in this time. Shirley's a key member of the Red Constellation, so you can be sure they're in tune with Ouroboros' schemes. As for Zephyr, The gnomes hired them, but it's ultimately up to the boss what they decide to do. I don't know the details yet. There's also the enhanced Jaegers, like the troops previously commanded by the Faceless Anguis. Yuna encountered those in Hamel. Between all you've got a decent intelligence network to draw on. You make for a really good team. Yeah. And if there's any info we don't have, the Divine Blade and the Golden Rock Shasa are here too. Hard to believe Muse managed to get all these guys under one roof. The Reaper, Sylphie, and Black Fang. What a gang. Don't forget, Crow. You're Azure Siegfried. Dude, can you get off my back about that? Alright. We're finally done talking to everybody. Maybe. Can't find anything to do? Hello, Doobly. The Swift. I was just wandering around. You can drop the epithet. If you can be informed with it, Lloyd and Estelle, why not me? Just a slip of the tongue. Besides, there's not much of an age difference between the three of us. I feel like I should be more respectful when talking to you. Are you implying that, from your point of view, I'm old? No, definitely not. She's what, 23? She doesn't even look it. But it's probably best to drop it. Anyway, Lady Mildine has more influence in the higher echelons than I imagined. She's gathered prominent political figures, bracers, the special support section, and all of you under the same roof. Even the Black Fang and the Angel of Slaughter are present. Oh, that's right. Do you know them through Ouroboros? Yes, I was familiar with the Blade Lord who often worked with them. Joshua Estray left Ouroboros around the time I joined. I see. That must have been when the break